And welcome back to the Gran Turismo Online League. It's time for the Matco Tools 100 for the Strictly Stock Series. The GTO League is brought to you by Metz Painting, where improvement is their specialty. And as always, I'm joined here in the booth by Rashad Metz. How you doing today, Rashad?
I'm doing awesome, Miles. Super excited once again to be back in the booth with you and commentate one of these great Strictly Stock Series races.
Now, a thin crowd here tonight, not the number of cars that we would have wanted. We've had around double digits of car the past couple weeks, which we've been really, really grateful for. But back to a little bit smaller car count. But this is the second to last race in the season. So where do you think these drivers' heads are at coming into this thing?
I think your drivers are going to be, especially those two drivers, Rashad Metz and Miles Johnson, I think are going to be really focused on points and positioning right now. But these other drivers, I think they want to pick up some wins, get some more experience, and start getting those notebooks written up for next season and get some more prep for that. But right now, I really feel like the focus is going to be on those two drivers focusing around the championship. So I'm super excited to see what these drivers can do.
And this is a really, really fun track. We've raced a ton of races here. We raced an entire season here, actually. But I mean, what kind of racing do you think we're going to see tonight here?
I think we're going to see some pack racing like always. It's going to be some really tight bumping and banging too in these tight corners, especially tight turn 1 and turn 3. Kind of it's really tricky turn 3, the way you have to go into the corner downshift and kind of let the car roll a little bit before you can ease back into the power. So it's going to be really tricky for these drivers to get through here, and every position is definitely going to matter.
Alrighty, you ready to get down to the Metz Painting grid walk?
I am.
Alrighty, you scared to kick us off?
All right, starting on pole position today, we have GRT Sissy, the number 58 car, Go Racing Together machine. Beautiful car. Sissy puts his car on pole, he's not shy and not shy away from pole position. Got a lot of poles in the GTO series in general. Super excited to see what he can do from pole position today.
And rolling off right behind him, the last time we were at this racetrack for the Thanksgiving 100, Javen Tucker brought home the W. So that number 99 car has been fast all weekend throughout practice and qualifying. Put it P2 in qualifying. So he's got a really, really fast Pride Monte Carlo here tonight. So look for that number 99 to be making some moves through the pack.
Rolling on next, we have the 06 of Miles Johnson and a John Deere Ford Mustang. Beautiful scheme by Miles Johnson. Right now, he is the points leader, looking to gain some more points on Rashad Metz this race. Out-qualified him here, putting the car in P3. Super excited to see if Miles Johnson can get it done here. He's really fast here, and he usually can get it done. So, looking forward to see what he can do.
Rolling off right behind him is the number 60 of Nicholas Collier. Nicholas Collier this is one of the racetracks he's had circled on the map all season. He's been waiting for this racetrack to come through. He's been really, really fast at this style oval. Won a couple weeks ago at Root X, but hasn't had the finish that he wanted last week and the week before. Finished outside of the top 5 and even outside of the top 10 at Northern Isle. So he's looking to bounce back in the points, trying to be able to clinch that top 3 spot in the points. He's out of championship contention, but he's still trying to get that podium. So look for Nicholas Collier to be making moves up front. Right behind him is Rashad Metz in that number 24 Metz painting machine. Rashad Metz has been really, really fast throughout the entire season. He's trying to go back-to-back. One last week, he had a really, really fast car at Watkins Glen. He's looking to go back-to-back here. He needs to build up some points. He is 10 points behind Miles Johnson in the championship hunt. So he's got a fast number 24 machine, and he thinks that he has the car to win it.
Rolling off P last, we have Donnie Wu in that beautiful BBS number 11 Nissan. Donnie Wu has been really fast, didn't get the qualifying effort that he wanted. Felt the car was a little off pace, but Donnie Wu is no stranger to Blue Moon Bay Speedway racing, so I really feel like he might be able to get that car after a little bit of adjustment straight to victory lane today.
Alrighty, and that's it for your Metz painting grid walk. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we get down to the green flag?
Nope, Miles, I'm ready to get the green flag.
All right, let's go get down to it. The second to last race for the championship. The next race will be at Daytona to decide the champion. And the lights are out. The Matco Tools 100 is underway at Blue Moon Bay Speedway.
Good side-by-side racing so far. Miles Johnson giving CJ Howell a push to the lead. You better go three wide in turn 1 early on.
Already. Someone trying to make a move. Still 3 wide off of turn 1.
That was a great move by Miles Johnson. Gets his way into P2. Gets a little bit of help from behind from Donnie Wu as he tries to chase down Javen Tucker. single filed up. Those cars are going fast. Oh my
189,
goodness.
190, really, really fast speeds out of these Sylvias here. A lot of contact with the wall there going into turn 3 for the first time.
Oh, you see Nicholas Kyler put Rashad in the wall in turn 4 there.
A little contact there early.
Not a lot of grip there. The lack of downforce on the front end of these cars make it a bit tricky to navigate this racetrack.
Ooh, big loose moment from Johnson. Able to keep it going though, trying to get a run off the top lane. CJ Howe with some contact with the wall.
Thinking about Javen Tucker, you always got to look after Javen Tucker. He is really good at keeping control of a field like this. This chaos of Blue Moon Bay Speedway, Javen Tucker has learned how to harness it and learned how to keep control of it in order to maintain the lead. And that's something I really admire about Javen Tucker.
A multiple-time winner here. Look at those drivers trying to use that bottom lane. It's really, really hard to use that bottom lane without sliding up. It's caused a little contact off the turn. Rashad Metz trying to make a 3-wide move down to the bottom. Donnie Wu, the leader, down bottom, dragging Rashad Metz forward. Not going to get a huge run, though.
Look at Javen Tucker still out front.
Really knows those high lanes in both turns 1 and turns 3 are probably the fastest way around the racetrack. You can really carry momentum. Got to get as close to the wall as you can. Here comes a huge shove from Metz to the back of Johnson's bumper. 3 wide for the lead.
Bumping and banging there. Javen Tucker gets a little loose. They're going 3 wide in the turn. 4 wide almost.
Oh, some contact there. 4 wide almost for a second.
Still 3 on exit. Oh
Tucker
my goodness.
makes some contact. What a drive here by all these drivers.
Rashad gets the taste of the
that
lead for the first
ahead.
time.
Here comes Hal to the bottom. 3 by 3.
Hal backs out, trying not to get into any craziness.
Slides up a little bit though. Makes some contact behind him. Johnson and Metz, the 2 battling for a championship at 1 and 2.
That 10 points divides these 2 drivers going into this race, so Rashad really has to capitalize if he wants to make his job a little bit easier at Daytona in the finale of this race, in the finale of this series. Both drivers sitting in our mouth on the wall, trying to block Majan, trying to keep him behind. As Miles Johnson finally gets a run, gets to the inside of Rashad, going to this corner. Can Rashad hold him off on the outside?
To the inside, gonna try to slide job it. Ooh, he clears him, but he makes contact with the wall. Metz comes out with the cutback.
Miles Johnson's trying to do everything he can to get control of this race.
Donnie Wu way down on the apron trying to make a move into Johnson gets shoved out of line.
That was a bold move by Donnie Wu.
3 wide, Hal to the bottom. Ooh, and Donnie Wu gets in the... Oh, big...
What a save!
What a save there. Ooh, Johnson gets a run to the outside, to the line. Johnson leads that lap.
Bumping and banging already, you can see it. Between those 2 points leaders, I mean those 2 two drivers in the points championship here, battling it out.
Oh, someone way down at the bottom. Collier trying to make... Ooh, Metz down to the bottom with a huge run.
He's trying to pass Miles Johnson, and he gets it done. Miles Johnson doesn't have any help on that outside lane. Everybody's shuffling him out.
Shoved up, way up the racetrack goes Johnson.
Who shoved him out? That was...
Let's take another look at it here. Whoa. I believe Collier
was on the apron.
And Tucker, I believe there was a lot of contact. Let's see what exactly happened. Let's look at the in-car camera from Tucker, who was behind all this. Yeah, I think some drivers on the apron there. You saw Collier down.
Yeah.
You really do not want to get down there. You will mess up big time. There's no grip down there.
That seam there in the middle, at the bottom of the racetrack, will really upset the race car and make it do exactly what it did. Cost Miles Johnson a lot of positions.
Collier going to try to get the lead with some help from Tucker. He's going to get there. Here comes Donnie Wu, 3 wide now for second place.
What a race this is so far, as Nicholas Collier takes the lead.
Donnie Wu in third place, having a good good run. Oh, Met's way down to the apron. Got to get a pass. He does. Gets Nick out of line. He's got some help on the bottom. 3 wide again going into turn 3.
3 wide. Oh my goodness.
Whoa! Look at Tucker all over the place, making a move.
I think they helped Miles Johnson get a run down the front straightaway and allowed him to get back to 3rd position. Once again, ahead of Rashad Metz.
Still very, very early in this thing. You know, this is a ton of racing left here at Blue Moon Bay. Anything can change in a second. You go from first to last, you go from last to first in a lap. So you never know what can happen here at Blue Moon Bay Speedway. And that's what the fans love and our viewers love to see here. This unpredictable pack racing that this track always produces.
Yeah, it's just really fun. These drivers, some drivers love the pack racing, the wild, the crazy, chaotic racing, and some other drivers much prefer something that seems like isn't so luck-based. But sometimes these drivers just have to hunker down and go after it today, and it shows who is more skilled here and who can really race close in proximity to other drivers and who can't. You see drivers like Miles Johnson really shine at a track like this, and Javen Tucker as well. They know how to work the lines. They know how to see the air. Javen Tucker is really good at maintaining control of the field. And that's something we haven't really seen any other drivers do, especially to that degree with as many pack racing tracks that he has won at. So
yeah, I remember last time we were here for the Thanksgiving 100 a couple months back, Tucker was pretty much the dominant car all day long, was able to control the field all day long, and he's trying to do that same thing here today as he goes trying to get a pass to lead. Met's little contact there off the corner, side by side, down the front straightaway. But Johnson giving a good shove to the back of the 24. Ooh, a little loose moment on the straightaway.
I think he tried to get in line. There was no room, or not as much as he thought it was.
Oh, and Tucker slides up.
Real close to the wall. Rashad trying to get a run down the back, off the high side, gets back to the lead.
Whoa, heavy contact. I guess Johnson thought he was clear, but he was not.
Back stuck on the outside lane.
Stuck on the outside lane. Collier gets pushed up in front of him. Met's in control of it right now. Howell trying to get something to work on the bottom. Slides up. Ooh, here comes. What a move by Johnson.
That huge run.
Wide for a second. Off that high lane. He's going to take Javen Tucker to the lead. Yeah, that's what, see the way that Ford Mustang front end locks bumpers with the car in front of him. You know, that flat Ford nose is just really, really good at pushing these cars around this racetrack.
He really is, because he does a lot of pushing, but he also can do a lot of leading as well. Here he goes, trying to take the lead from Javen Tucker again. Get some help from his championship opponent.
He clears him. Will Mets have a good enough run to clear Tucker, though? He's hanging in there. Ooh, little contact there, middle of the turn, or entrance to the turn. Metz is going to have a really good run off. Here he goes back down to the inside. Not quite enough. Johnson is trying to break the draft as he's all the way down at the pit wall. Trying anything here to keep the lead at Blue Moon Bay.
3 wide once again.
So we're 12 laps into this 35-lap event, and something kind of rare about this race that we have not had a caution yet so far in this race. Normally, on average, we've had around 2 or 3 cautions in the first 12 laps of one of these plate tracks or pack racing events, and this is just a pretty uncharacteristic. So do you think that we're going to see some cautions later on in this race?
Right now, the way these drivers are racing, I feel like we're bound to have one. I think he's only going to ramp up. I think they're only going to get more aggressive, and it's really going to start showing in the moves that they make and the chances and risks that they take. So, as you see right now, look at them moving each other out the way. 3 wide going into 1. Late braking. I think we're going to see something coming soon at least. Oh, hard hitting the wall there.
A lot of contact there. Johnson trying to make up. I think he had some contact a couple laps ago. There's Metz down to the bottom. CJ Howe got a good run. The outside in turn 3 is where you want to be. Can really hang momentum. Ooh, he gives for the slide job on the bottom. He's going to clear him as Donnie Wu makes heavy contact with Javen Tucker into the wall.
Had a loose moment too again on the exit. CJ Howe makes his way up to P3. Hadn't seen him in front much this race. Maybe he can make something happen, and he's going to try to go for it right now. Trying to use that bottom. He's been trying to work that bottom groove
Ooh, some
all
contact back there
race.
in the back of the pack. Jamin Tucker almost lost it. What a save by Tucker.
So Rashad's back to the lead.
Rashad's had it really fast. Mets Painting Chevrolet here today. Shout out to Mets Painting. They're an excellent sponsor, and just great to have them aboard here on the league and on the hood of Rashad Metz's car. I know, great family-owned operated business, and some great people to be around, and we're happy to have them here aboard of the Gran Turismo Online League as our main sponsor.
Well, this race starting to ramp up here. Hopefully Rashad can put that Mets Painting Chevrolet into victory lane today.
Whoa, heavy contact in the back. Johnson got destroyed. What happened here? Then going down in the turn one, someone went down to his inside. I do not know who it was. Oh, he's
got pushed into the corner. Right when the car got really light, he got a touch from behind and really sent that back end around. Good thing Miles Johnson got it gathered back up.
Rashad Metz still out front. As we look backwards from a big block.
I think that was going to wreck the field if he would have got that, if Rashad let him get side by side with him. Because there was nowhere for him to go but the grass.
What do you think is going through these drivers' minds? They're approaching the halfway point of this race, but what do you think that their game plan is going into the later half of this race?
Get more aggressive, take more risks. That's all I'm seeing right now. You literally just saw CJ Howell try to pass somebody through the grass on the apron. But Rashad blocked them in the nick of time. So I feel like these drivers are just going to keep ramping it up lap after lap, trying to, and because a lot of these drivers are hungry. Many of them,
Jamin Tucker made a move.
Most of them aren't in contention for the championship right now, so everybody just wants to get these wins and rack up points, trying to move up in the point standings. So right now, all these drivers are just really hungry. As you see, they're bumping and banging and pushing each other through turns 3 and 4. 4 wide for a second. Donnie Wu trying to go to the inside. 3 wide in turn 1 once
3
again.
wide for the lead, over 190 miles per hour going down there. Ooh, big moment there. A lot of cars got scattered throughout. I want to see what happened exactly there. 3 wide moment. Just a lot of...
I think he got squeezed on the outside a little bit there.
Looking back from Johnny Wu's ride. Just a whole lot of contact. I think they were 3, almost 4 wide there going to the corner.
Got a little loosey-goosey. That braking zone is very tricky because those cars get so light.
There are some talks this year or toward next season, the Strictly Stock Series, about changing the package. Maybe Johnson gets run way up the track, still able to make it stick though off the corner.
Look at these drivers. Single file right now. I think they kind of mellowed out. I think might want to log some laps first. Maybe bring down the grip. Johnson gets a bump.
Yeah, this is a beautiful facility here at Blue Moon Bay out here in California. The stands are always packed, as always here. And just the atmosphere of this racetrack. And you figure we're going to be here 2 weeks in a row, so a lot of these fans will be here next week for the All-Star race as well. So, you think some of these drivers are using this race as a practice session for the All-Star race?
Honestly, I hope these drivers are. You really got to take those notes in order to see how these cars operate on this track, how the wind affects these cars, how you can take these corners, how you can run in the dirty air. All these things are going to be very critical in order for these drivers to race their way potentially into the All-Star race and to win that All-Star race and win that $50.
Yeah, it's going to be a hell of a battle because, you know, points and everything are out the window next week, so that's going to be a very, very aggressive race from these drivers for sure. Thought he got shuffled way out of line there. Saw him in the high lane, trying to keep something going. Met's trying to get something going down the bottom. There's two Chevrolets lined up. Two Fords, two Chevrolets, and one Toyota make up, and one Nissan make up the manufacturers for today's event.
Starting to spread out a little bit, actually, throughout the race. I think they're going to reform into turn one again. It's all back together, but they all seem to have a little bit of space. Man, it seems like I get some Fontana-esque vibes with that, with turn one sometimes. I just think turns one and turns three, how they just fan out in the corner. It's cool to see.
It's really, really fun racetrack, very racing racetrack. And there's just a ton of lanes you can choose in the corners and stuff. The outside lane is dominant, but you can definitely go for a side job for those more experienced drivers. And it's just fun to watch them have at it here at this three-turn racetrack.
It really is. As we see CJ Howell leading this lap, unless Miles Johnson takes it from him, and he does by a hair.
Still 3 wide. Johnson going to tuck in the line. Tucker trying to go for it on the bottom.
It's been a great race so far.
21 out of 35 laps. When do you think it's time for these drivers to go? When do you think it's go time? When do you think it's time to turn up the aggression?
Lap 30. That's what I'm thinking. Give you enough time to get through the field, and hopefully by the time you get through the field, you'll be right where you need to be in the nick of time and be able to battle it out for the win. So, but look how hungry these guys are. 4 wide, 3 wide, all the time on the straightaway, in the corners,
that's got
everywhere.
Way loose.
These drivers are hungry for this win. Look at those drivers go. Look at Miles Johnson just trying to get around Javen Tucker. Javen Tucker with a great grasp on the lead, not letting go. I think if Rashad wants to pass him, he's going to have to work with Miles Johnson, and that's also not what he wants to do.
See him fan out again in that final turn. Now, there's a rumor speaking on how this race turns out this year. There's a possibility of this track getting 2 race dates on the schedule for the next Strictly Stock Series or seasons, and possibly replacing the day race at Northern Isle. What you think about that, Rashad?
That's an interesting idea. I feel like these drivers, I don't know how much these drivers like it. We got to talk to them, but so far the racing here has been producing. I think it'll be really interesting. I think it'll be a great change of pace. I think it'd be really interesting. We also had some drivers talk about how they would love to take these cars to high speed ring, which I don't know how that's going to go, but a lot of these drivers have been talking about that as well. So we have a lot of things to consider in the offseason.
I'm pretty sure next season that the Daytona Enfield Road Course is really looking at possibly replacing Road Atlanta, then possibly Suzuka getting replaced by High Speed Ring. So a lot of fun tracks could be coming to the schedule next season for these cars.
It just makes me even more excited for the race season, for the next season.
Still, we got to finish this one though. Look at these cars battling hard, 2 by 2 by 2 throughout the pack. 2 lanes going. The inside lane is going to have a good run going to this turn.
Nicholas Collier trying to go to the lead.
Goes to the lead. The 60 and the 06 up front. The drivers
just going to the inside.
Contact. Johnson 3 wide. Javen Tucker
lost a lot of momentum on the exit. Miles Johnson trying to get past Javen Tucker.
This car's battling out for the lead. Now, we've seen a lot of cars race here before. We've seen Group 3 cars race here in the league. We've raced open wheel races here in the in GTO or non-sanctioned events, so not for the league. And we've raced the stock series, strictly stock series here. What series you think was your favorite here at the racetrack out of all the ones? Big moment by Javen Tucker.
I think they all produced their own special type of racing. I think this one is really technical, really complicated. These drivers have to really pick their moves. Well, honestly, I think the Strictly Stock Series is a good combination of them both. With the high downforce packages of the GR3 cars, you could run anywhere on the track, get a run from anywhere. really picking those moves right. With the open wheel cars, had an Indianapolis type style. You're running single file, having them pick those moves at the right time, getting huge runs on people, things like that. It was really nice. But this one is like a combination of both worlds. You kind of want to get your lines right, but you always got somebody beside you, behind you, and things like that, and that's very important. So I think it's the best of both worlds, and it takes the cake for being the most challenging and the most driver-friendly version of this racetrack.
Yeah, nine more laps to go here at the line. This very well could become one of the first caution-free events here in the GTO League. So
4 wide, oh my
4
goodness.
wide, well, maybe not if they keep racing like they're racing right now. Last time we were here, we had a massive pileup of, I believe, 4 or 5 cars in turn 1 during the Thanksgiving 100. Hopefully, we can avoid a big wreck like that here tonight in the Matco Tools 100.
Rashad is just trying to beat Miles Johnson. He's working with whoever Miles Johnson is not working with, trying to get past Miles Johnson.
Ooh, Johnson gets walled.
Oh my goodness.
And gets really loose.
Get Nicholas Collar and run, but he's out there by himself. Not going to be able to do much with that.
You do need some help going down the straightaway in order to create those runs. One of the best passing zones is going into turn 2, but you got to have some help if you're going to make that work. So you just have to have a great run off that first turn and hopefully have some help going down that back straightaway.
Indeed. You're seeing how Miles Johnson, though, he's still figuring a way. He can see the air. I'm telling you, Miles Johnson is probably the best pack racing driver that we have in the league, and it's no contest.
A lot of contact there.
He can block, he can race in the pack, he can go from back to front, front to back. He's done it all. Jamin Tucker's really good in his own way because he can get up front and stay up there for a long time, and that right there is challenging in itself.
Tucker trying to dive down to the bottom again. 29 out of 35 laps. Things is starting to be go time. That's what everyone's saying.
It's super cool seeing the 2 best pack racing drivers running with each other at the lead for the win. Miles Johnson gets a huge run up there by himself. I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing there.
Yeah, I don't know. What position do you think that you... Whoa, big moment by Donnie Wu. Nice save, though. But where do you think that you want to be on that final lap?
Second place.
Second place?
Second place.
Get a really good run off that final turn. You just got to get that final turn perfect on that last lap.
If you can push the driver in first place a little bit of ahead. Oh, wow, that was a little late block. But if you can push the driver ahead in first place to kind of get some space, I think you'll do just fine. And then you can try to get a run down on the back straightaway if you get turn 3 right. I mean, on the front straightaway if you get turn 3 right. But it's really tricky, really hard to do that because some of those drivers get hungry and think they can win from 5 cars back and send it into the final corner. So yeah, it all depends, but I would think second place would be real comfortable, if not first.
This is a lot different style racing that we saw here in the Winston Cup series. Winston Cup was mostly single file. Whoa, big moment there. Johnson gets in the wall. CJ Howell going way down to the bottom. The driver's trying anything to create a run in the turn 1.
You hear the tires squeal. A lot of these drivers are getting sideways.
5 more laps to go. You think it's go time now? These drivers are seeming to step out a lot more.
It's definitely go time. Definitely go time.
You see a lot of drivers, down the straightaway when they're single file, you'll see one car kind of peek a fender out to see if anyone's going to go with them or stuff, because just having a car behind you pushing you can really open up that second lane and really make that outside lane work in turn 2 if 2 professional drivers get really lined up. Lots of contact there. Collier up front looking for his second win of the season. That would be his first multiple win season if he can get it done here today.
He's got a really fast car as well, so really looking forward to what he can do. Miles Johnson gets into the wall a little bit.
Tucker sends it. Massive wreck out of turn 1. Donnie Wu involved. CJ Howe involved. Multiple car collision. I believe Rashad Metz was involved as well. The first caution of the race. What happened?
We almost had a caution-free race, but that's a lot of smoke.
Let's see what happened here. I believe Jamin Tucker sent her way down to the inside. right into Rashad Metz and causes a huge stack up behind.
That was a very ambitious move by Javen
Let's
Tucker.
take a look from the roof camera of Johnson looking back at the action.
Oh my goodness.
Massive wreck. Let's take a look at in-car camera for Nicholas Collier. Yeah, there's a damage unfolds behind him. Donnie Wu, I believe, was involved in this as well. Massive wreck. The big one strikes again in turn one.
Got hit from behind.
He gets hooked trying to avoid the wreck. Massive crash though in turn one. Let's take one more look at it from the... Yeah, CJ Howe bounced off the wall and hooked Donnie Wu at the outside.
Just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Nicholas Collier's up front. Miles Johnson right behind. Rashad Metz, though barely involved in the incident, will hang on to third place. Donnie Wu, Javen Tucker, CJ Howe unfortunately got the worst of it. This is going to be the final caution of the race, and this will be a green, white checkered instead of just a green-white checkered. So, who do you think your favorite is on this restart here? We do implement a choose.
I don't know. I think the outside lane works pretty well, especially on the restarts, because that's exactly where you want to be. Inside lane is real tricky. You got to really pull some questionable things to make that inside lane work on the restarts. You have to really get it right, if not slide up into the guy on the outside lane, which I do not condone. So we're just going to find out what happens.
And the green flag is back out. The Matco Tools 100 is underway. Huge shove by Rashad Metz to the outside lane. Tucker, Metz, and Collier lined up in that outside lane. Johnson went from second. Ooh, big moment already. Ooh, heavy contact. Johnson got down, shoved down to the apron, and then bounced back up to Javen Tucker.
Nicholas Collier is up front with very few laps to go. He might be able to get it done.
Oh, but here comes Johnson back in the mix again. Metz, they're racing really hard behind Collier, but they are gaining fast since Collier does not have the draft. Yeah, they're going about 10 mile an hour faster in that draft.
They are chasing him. They are chasing him.
Here comes Rashad Metz trying to get past him. To the line, 2 more laps to go here. The championship battle heating up, the 2 leaders in the points.
Rashad gets a little loose there with a little bit of
heavy contact.
Nicholas Collier messes up the corner.
Nicholas Collier really wants a second win, trying to hang on to that podium in the points, trying to get back into the third place in the points. He thinks he can do it here. Miles Johnson way down to the inside, trying to get past both of the drivers. Will he send it? Can we get a slide job here? He does. Slide job. Ooh, into the wall. Right in front of Collier. Coming down to the white flag. 1 more to go in the Matco Tools 100.
This is crazy. Look at Miles Johnson. Look at Rashad Metz behind Miles Johnson trying to chase him now.
Collier sends it down to the bottom. Gets loose. Slides up into Metz and Johnson. That's gonna
somebody goes spinning.
Stall out. Who went spinning? Donnie Wu.
Donnie Wu.
Let's take a look here.
Got
what
caught
happened.
up in the stack up due to that. That wasn't the brightest move in the world.
Yeah, just a big stack up there, and
yeah,
Donnie Wu, tough hit for him. Let's take another look at it. Collier just dove down to the inside, and I believe got real loose and made contact with Johnson and Metz. Caused a huge stack up, but the race is still on. Collier trying to get past Johnson. Metz trying to get a run. He needs to finish ahead of these 2 to try to gain some points. He does not want Johnson winning this race.
Rashad might have another crack at it.
If he can
And
get it
turns
done.
3.
Rashad Metz. Johnson sends it, hits the wall in the final turn. Metz with the run on the final straightaway. It's not going to be enough. Miles Johnson is going to win the Matco Tools 100 at Blue Moon Bay Speedway. Collier second, Metz third, Javen Tucker fourth, and CJ Howe will finish fifth. Donnie Wu will unfortunately not finish the race after that hard hit on that final lap. Final lap. But what a race here today. Bunch of packed racing throughout the track today, and a lot of contact and stuff there at the end. A lot of unhappy people after that race. Just a lot of stuff going on there at the end of that ring.
Yeah, that was the spectacular race, honestly, from flag to flag. Only one caution, which was surprising for us. Usually we have a good 3, 4, maybe even 5 cautions. We did a 50-lapper, and it took us almost an hour to finish that race due to all the caution and calamity going on. So it was a change of pace. So we had a nice, clean race, flag to flag, even though still had maintained the excitement of the bumping, the banging, and the close racing. So I think that was a successful weekend.
And that pretty much concludes our coverage from Blue Moon Bay Speedway. We will be back here next week. We're staying here. We're not packing up things quite yet. We're going to keep the cars at the track. Some other cars will be rolling out with some special schemes for the All-Star race. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be a great race here tonight. Or great race next weekend. We'll be racing $50, so they're going to be a ton more aggressive than they were here tonight. But thank you again, Rashad, for joining me here in the booth. Miles Johnson, your winner here from Blue Moon Bay Speedway. Going to extend his points lead going into the finale. Rashad Metz still has a shot at it at Daytona, where he's really fast. So it's going to be a thriller for the championship. So stay tuned for that, and stay tuned for the All-Star race. Make sure to check us out for more Winston Cup races, more podcasts, a lot of anything from our Instagram, YouTube, and we have a Facebook group if you'd like to join. Anything else you'd like to add before we sign off, Rashad?
No, sir.
All right, again, the Gran Turismo Online League is brought to you by Metz Painting, where improvement is our specialty. So long from Blue Moon Bay Speedway.